post it to the group chat and we'll get started. Alright, here we are back with a Week 15 predictions video. I know I haven't done one of these in a minute. I've been traveling, stuff like that. I'm finally back home. Have good Wi-Fi again. So expect these on a weekly basis moving forward. We're joined by Gavin. He's the 49ers user. How's it going, bro?
Yo.
It's going to be me and him for this video. Everybody make sure you're streaming your games that are supposed to be streamed each week. That should be games of the week, which are posted at the top of every schedule, and all divisional games. I've had to warn a few people recently about just not blatantly not streaming. It's different if you got bad Wi-Fi or something's going on, but if you can't stream, you need to ask your opponent. Another thing, we've had a couple guys in here, I would say probably like 4 to 5, who've been relatively inactive these last couple weeks, things like that. I know of one already that's in talks of getting replaced, possibly 2. So everybody make sure that you are contacting your opponents and playing your games. I'm sick and tired of seeing people, because most commissioners don't give a shit and they'll just wait to advance day. If you haven't played, they'll fair salmon or something like that. I'll message people the day before. I'll be like, hey, make sure you make sure you schedule your game. And people will be like, yeah, I'll hit them up right now. We're 30 hours, 35 hours into the advance, and you're just now hitting your opponent up. That type of thing is ridiculous. You should be messaging your opponent, within the first 12 hours of advance at minimum, I think. So everybody make sure you're doing that. Also, take the extra step. If he's not answering, there's a couple guys in here that never answer DMs, but if I call them, they pick up every time. So, take the extra step and call people. You're not bothering them by doing that. Anyway, went off on a little rant there. Make sure your game's, like I said, is supposed to be streamed. If someone breaks rules, we can't do anything for you if you don't have proof of it. So, obviously, if it's he said, she said situation, we can't do anything to them. So make sure you stream your games, and if you have any issues, take them up with commissioners. We have 6 of them again, I believe now. It's myself, Jason, I'm the Jaguars user, Dean, he's Packers, Dwayne, he's the Cowboys, Twan, he's the Titans, Savon, he's the Dolphins, and Peso, he's the Lions. Moving forward in the off season, of course, people are going to start trading again and things like that. So make sure that any kind of trades you've got ready, geared up for the off season, you got to wait on the trade calculator until the off season to do it, because the values of players is going to change. Anyway, we're going to go over pretty much everything in this video, since I haven't done one in a while. We're going to show updates on things that have gone on, as well as the one game that's been played. So let's go ahead and get into that. Excuse me. Alright, weekly awards. AFC side, Jalen Waddle, 13 grabs, 236 yards, and 5 receiving touchdowns. He is 6 touchdowns out now, from tying Preston Williams' record from a few years ago for total receiving touchdowns in a season. He's got 2 games left. Jabril Cox had 6 tackles, 3 interceptions, and a touchdown. So Jags kind of cleaned house there. What about the NFC side, Gavin?
Zeus White winning it for like the 20th straight time, 26 carries, 121 yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns, also 116 receiving yards. I mean, I know that guy's got like 93 speed, and I know Falcons is probably going to win MVP with him.
I think it's only
Jeremy Chin
I think it's
getting
only 91 speed.
Oh, he said he was like 92 or something.
Maybe it
but
is. Maybe I'm tripping.
Jeremy Chin getting 6 tackles and 4 interceptions.
Wow. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I keep trying to catch White with Kyler Murray, and I think I have to try to run for a whole bunch of touchdowns with him. But I'm trying to pass so that I can get Waddle touchdowns, see if he can break the record. So it's kind of a double-edged sword there. It's unfortunate. Let's go to the yearly awards. NFL MVP Zeus White leads the way. I don't know if Zeus is a nickname or something like that. I'm going to find out, because if it's not, I'm going to change it back to his real name. His name is Zamir White.
I'm pretty sure it was like labeled as Zeus in the game because I remember looking at him like on the draft board.
Yeah, I know that's what he came in the draft class, but I don't know if just sometimes that creators will just put a name because they forgot, but it might be his actual nickname. I gotta find out. Anyway, next is Kyler Murray and Ezekiel Elliott. following up there in third. He led the race for a long time, but he's kind of slipped off these past couple weeks as the Cowboys' competition's gotten tougher. AFC side, I do want to note any kind of Jaguars players you see that are up on this list may move down since I've already played my game, um, and those stats have already taken effect. But for the moment, Offensive Player of the Year, Jalen Waddle leads the way, followed by Puka Williams and Henry Ruggs. Defensive Player of the Year, Davion Wilson, the rookie for the Dolphins, followed by Jabril Cox and Sean Wade. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Dorian Thompson-Robins, the backup slash starting quarterback for the Dolphins, with Drop Parker and Elijah Moore. Defensive Rookie, Devad Wilson, Daxton Hill, and Isaac Taylor-Stuart. Best QB, Kyler Murray. Best running back, Puka Williams. Best wide receiver, Jalen Waddle. Best offensive line, Quentin Nelson. Best defensive line, Myles Garrett. Best linebacker, Jabril Cox. Best DB, Sean Wade. Oh, and the all-important best kicker goes to Matt Gay of the Chargers. Right, what if the NFC side, Gavin?
Um, Offensive Player of the Year, Zeus White. Defensive Player, Darnell Savage, Jabril Peppers, and Keanu Neal. Offensive Rookie, Zeus White, Journey Brown, Dante Demas Jr. Defensive Rookie, Brian Dawkins, Joe Tryon, Trey Dean. My dude fell down all the way to 6. Best QB, Desmond Ritter, and then somehow Dylan McCaffrey's up there. Best running back, Zeus White, no surprise, and Ezekiel Elliott. Best wide receiver, Tamorian Terry and DK. Best O-lineman, Teron Armstead. Best D-lineman, DeMarcus Lawrence. Best linebacker, Sean Bradley, which is
That
a
is,
surprise.
I'm gonna note something. How is the best defensive lineman? Second is Vita Vea. He's like a 360-pound defensive lineman. What is he doing with him to get him that high on the list? Anyway, what were we saying? Yeah, Sean Bradley. He's kind of a conundrum. It's interesting for the Eagles because he's a superstar, but he's only a 75 overall. So he does user him a good bit. He makes plays on his own. Um, anyway, go ahead.
Um, Best DB, Darnell Savage, Real Peppers, Jabia Wizier. And then best kicker, Greg Zerline and Johnny Ecker.
All right, good stuff. Let's look at these team stats. Of course, any Eagles or Jaguar stats will be reflective because they've already played. Um, total yards gained, though. Let's see here. Browns lead the way, followed by the Giants. Worst, the Steelers. Total offensive yards, Steelers lowest, Giants highest, followed by Dolphins and Hawks. Passing yards, the Dolphins have the two 13-0 teams, right? The Dolphins have 4,668 leads. The lowest passing yards in the entire league is the other 13-0 team. The Chargers somehow have not lost a game and yet are dead last in the league in passing, with 1,900 yards. Probably because they lead in rushing with 2,462. That's 200 more than the Falcons. Lowest is the Redskins, who've only ran for 690 yards in the year. Let's see here. Let's see. Least first downs, the Raiders, 118. Most, the Chiefs, 212. Defensively, the least amount of total yards goes to the Saints, then the Chargers, the Dolphins, the Bills, and the Titans. Really good defenses. Worst defenses have been the Bucks, the Cardinals, Raiders, Panthers, and Texans. Lowest passing yards, the Dolphins and the Chargers. Most, the Cardinals and the Packers. Wow, Dean giving up a lot of passing yards there. Least rushing yards allowed, the Bills and Cowboys, as well as the Saints, all doing extremely well. Lions under 1,000 as well. The most rushing yards allowed by the Eagles, the Panthers, and the Texans. Points allowed, least is the Dolphins, most is the Chiefs, 519. QB sacks, least is the Jets with 12, most is the Dolphins, and Bucks each tied with 35. It's an interesting one. Fumbles recovered, 0 for the Redskins on the year. 11 for the Giants. Roquan Smith out there knocking people's heads off. 10 interceptions on the year for the Chiefs is lowest in the league, while the Dolphins have 62, which leads the league. Conversion percentage, the Jets are lowest in the league at 33% on third down. That is abysmal. Bucks and Dean way down there as well at 37%. So Dean not converting, just like on third down. Best Dolphins, Bills in the football team. Fourth down, Raiders the only team not to convert a fourth down all year. They're 0-5, while the football team and the Chargers each 100%. Red zone efficiency. Uh, the most attempts in the red zone goes to the Dolphins at 61, the least being the Vikings and Raiders at 26 each. Best percentage is 91% by the football team and the Steelers. Worst percentage is the Eagles at 52% in the red zone. Defensive points percentage, that is fucking ridiculous. Savon only allows you to score 51% of the time when in the red zone on him. Score. That's like counting field goals too. That's insane. Cardinals at 90%. Least penalized team, the Dolphins at 17. Most, the Rams at 55, as well as the Texans. Turnover differential, Dolphins are positive 50. Eagles are negative 35. Alright, so we blaze through all those real fast. Um, let's go ahead and get into the predictions. This video doesn't get too terribly long. I'm updating Daddy Leagues right now because I have forgotten. Jets 3-10, playing at the 4-9 Lions. Peso's finally got his EA account, his PlayStation account, excuse me, back working order. So he's playing his games again. Um, Jets doing his own thing. He's kind of fixed his team how he wants to. Now it's about getting the gameplay to match it and building. Um, both these users can have success whenever they get their specific game plan going in the right direction. Otherwise, they can tend to struggle. All right, Gavin, what do you think, man?
Um, I think Peso's going to come back hungry. I know he was like really excited to get his account back, and I think he's going to win this game by at least 10.
Yeah, I've got the Lions winning as well. He played well against the Bears last week, so I think he's going to continue that momentum. He's going to win the game. Next, we have your 49ers at 6-7, on the road playing the 3-10 Buccaneers. Bucks, despite the 3-10 record, have shown some life the past couple weeks, especially offensively. And you just saw he can get to the quarterback. And you have one of the worst offensive lines in the entire league. So I think you're definitely going to have to put some extra effort towards stopping that. Maybe block some running backs, tight ends, or so on and so forth. I'm gonna take you to win this game. You're just playing better offensively than he is. A lot better roster as well. What about you?
I think I'm going to win this game pretty easily also. I mean, I know my defense has been balling out lately. Justin Simmons should have 11 picks on the year, but it's all right. But I think I'm going to win this game 31-17.
Next with the battle for Texas, the 5-8 Cowboys playing the 1-12 Texans. Now, despite Dwayne's record of being 5-8, he has played people tough, man. He has a whole bunch of games this year where he's just lost by one possession, just couldn't quite get it done right. He's going to be, I think he has a potential chance to make the playoffs next season. He's just playing really good football. He's just not being able to finish well. Turnovers are killing him. He's making bad reads when passing the ball. He's got to run more with Zeke. Texans system still may be not working. I know he said it was going to start working soon, but I think it's off. This may be a Cowboys force win. Actually, now the more I think about it, but I would pick the Cowboys to win anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Dwayne would probably beat him.
Next, we have the Vikings at 5-8, playing the 9-4 Bills. Bills lost again last week to the Dolphins. The second time this year where they've lost by 7 points to Savon. So you know how he can play. Drop playing really good. Herc and his Vikings lost a 1-point thriller to the Redskins, 31-30, in heartbreak there. Skins picked up his X factor for Terry McLaurin in that game, so I think he was really focusing on him to make the game closer. Um, I'm going to take Buffalo here. He's just a significantly better user, I think. What about you?
Yeah, I don't think Kirk's really going to take this game that seriously, and I just think J Drop's going to come out. And I mean, I think there's a possibility of a shutout this game.
Next, we got the Falcons versus the Panthers. Falcons are 10-3 on the year. Panthers 3-10. One thing I'll say about this is that Carolina does not. They don't have some specific player they're just trying to get the ball to. They play to win. Falcons are probably the opposite as far as you can get it. They're trying to run the ball every down, with Zeus White. So I think if the Panthers can commit to stopping that, that he'll have a chance in this game. But for me, it's going to come down to the Falcons are just a significantly better defensive team. So I'll take Atlanta and to win this game easily, probably.
Yeah, I agree. I think Zeus White's going to probably have another game player of the week.
Next, we got the Bears at the Giants. This is one of the games of the week. The Bears are, let's see here, 12-1 in the year. Giants 9-4. Um, Efly is playing really good football this past couple weeks, man. He's really getting this roster the way he wants. He's got a lot of weapons offensively. Um, Bears have won each game they've played, although I feel like they could have probably done better over the last couple weeks. Um, played the 4-win Lions last week, only won by 16. The week before that, he played the Cardinals. He did pretty well. Beat the Eagles only like 14-0 a few weeks ago. So I think he's kind of off his groove, especially offensively. So I think Efly's got a real chance in this game. It's going to come down to turnovers for me, and the fact that the Giants don't have a good quarterback is going to really hurt them. Um, I think this is going to be an extremely close game, but I'm going to take the Bears to win on the road by 3.
I think that I know Efly wins a lot of cover three, and a good user like Bears will be able to adapt to that, and I think he'll win this game by 17.
Wow, a blowout. I don't know about all that. I think that definitely that Efly's trending in the right direction right now, but we'll see. Interesting. Uh, Eagles and Jags played 61-7 blowout for the Jaguars. They forced 12 turnovers, limited the Eagles to only 18 rushing yards. So a really good game there. Let's look at the stats here. Um, Adrian Martinez for the Eagles threw 11 interceptions. That is the difference in the game. Kyler Murray threw 4 touchdowns, also ran for another, as well as Nyheim Hines. Receiving, Waddle obviously dominated the targets. 12 grabs for 125 yards, 3 scores. Um, Looks like Quez Watkins did have a touchdown for the Eagles. Let's see here. Defensively, there was a ton of sacks in this game. Looks like 4 by Fletcher Cox, 3 by Quinnen Williams, and then Derek Barnett, Harold Landry, Josh Sweat, and Javon Hargrave all got home as well. Interceptions, this is going to be dominated by the Jaguars here. Jabril Cox picked off 3 passes for 45 yards. He did have a pick 6 as the game ended. C.J. Henderson picked off 3 passes. Hamza Nasruddin and rookie Isaac Taylor-Stuart each picked off 2 passes. Taylor-Stuart ran his back for a touchdown. Caden Stearns, Darius Slay, Andre Sisco, and Davion Taylor each had an interception as well. Forced fumble by Harold Landry, a fumble recovery by Deshaun Hand. That's pretty much it for that game. It was a blowout from the beginning. Credit to the Eagles for not getting shut out, though. Next, we have the Steelers at 4-9 on the year, playing the 13-0 Dolphins. This is probably, in my opinion, the best offensive user and the worst offensive user playing in this game. Pittsburgh, he's a decent defensive guy. You know, he's done well over the last couple weeks. He held Jimmy to 21 a few weeks ago. He held the Falcons to, even though Zeus White won Player of the Game, only 121 rushing yards is something to say about that. So he's been playing people tough these last couple weeks, and it's just unfortunate that he's coming up against Savon here because Savon finds a way to just dominate whoever he plays. So I'm obviously going to take the Dolphins to win this game big. What about you, Gavin?
Yeah, I don't think this game's going to end well for the Steelers.
All right, next we got the Patriots at 3-10 playing the 4-9 Browns. This one's about draft position and about pride. Both these teams kind of trying to figure themselves out, especially offensively. I think there's potential on both sides. This game is hard to pick for me. It's really tough because I think these users are very close in skill level. Uh, this could be a really good game. This is probably the sleeper good game of the week to watch if it does get streamed. I think I'll take Leslie to win in the Browns because he runs the ball better and he's a little less turnover prone, although definitely not as good of a defensive user as the Patriots are. So it's going to be an interesting game. What about you, Gavin?
Yeah, I think the Browns are also going to win this game. I just think he has a better team in general, and he knows where he wants to get the ball.
Next, we get the Bengals and the Ravens. This is make it or break it for Quick. He's not gonna. Well, he is holding a wild card spot currently, but if he loses this game, he's going to be in some real trouble for making the playoffs. If he wins the game, he'll be tied for the division with Chap. So it's going to be this is a real race. This AFC North here. Chap has gotten a couple force wins over the past couple weeks, I think. He's played in good football. He runs the ball very well, obviously. He's got Lamar Jackson and Marquise Brown and Devin Duvernay and people like that. The Bengals, very good with Joe Mixon. I think that because this game matters so much, he's going to run the ball a lot more than he has during the year, where he tends to throw it more. Um, Oh, it's going to be a good game. I think I'm going to take Quick. He played very well against the Broncos last week. So I'm going to take the Bengals to win this game on the road and make this division race even tighter.
Yeah, I agree. I think Bengals is gonna win this. I think his man's gonna shut down him.
One thing I will say is, though, man coverage will get you fucked up against teams that run the ball. So, and Baltimore does that a lot. So it could be interesting here. It could be a big day if he picks the right plays. Next, we have the Cinderella story of probably anything I've ever seen. Chargers 13-0 on the year. He did have a good finish last year. Only won like 6 games the first year, so he's getting consistently better. He's on the road playing the 5-8 Rams. I know both these users. They play together in a different league as well. Chargers extremely good defensively, extremely good. Rams one of the lower tier defensive users. Rams probably actually a better offensive user. Um, Chargers good on offense, especially when it comes to running the ball. He will have Austin Eckler back for this game. He was suspended last week. Um, I'm gonna take the Chargers to win this game on the road. I just think that the defensive matchup is just gonna be too much for the Rams.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't know how Chargers is 13-0 because like I know he's faced good users like Drop, but I think
But
this will
you
actually be
beat
a
me
kind
this
of a
year too.
close game. Yeah, I think this will be a close game, but I don't see a way Chargers' first loss will be to the Rams.
He had a very good week last week with backups in like James Cook. He had Austin Eckler. Um, he had Austin Eckler, Ryan Kerrigan, and Derwin James. No, Joey Bosa all suspended last week and still won the game over the Raiders by like 40. Um, so I expect him to win here. I'm interested to see his final 2 games of the season. We've never had anyone go undefeated except for um, Savon. Actually, I think V did it one time too. He plays the Chiefs in week 16, and he's got the Seahawks week 17. Wow, so it's going to be interesting. I think that he should win 16, but 17 is going to be interesting. Next, we have the Chiefs and the Seahawks, the two teams that he plays over the next couple weeks. Chiefs are 2-11, Hawks 7-6. Hawks have looked. Let me start this off. I think he's going to win the game, but Hawks have looked subpar, especially on the defensive side of the football. Dean gashed him play after play with a 63 overall quarterback last week. So I think Hawks are susceptible there. He also tends to throw a couple picks. He'll throw to DK in double and triple coverage sometimes. Um, so it's gonna be interesting. But I think I'll take the Hawks to win this game handily.
Yeah, I mean, I really want him to lose this game because, I mean, if he loses this game, he could potentially lose the division. But I don't see there's a way he. I don't know what's really going on over there, but I don't think there's a way he'll lose.
Next we have the Cardinals at the football team. Cardinals 5-8 on the year. Uh, Football team 9-4. Um, what did Jimmy say? Hold up. Oh yeah, that's right. Jimmy did have an undefeated season. I completely forgot about that. Jimmy did have an undefeated season. I forgot about. I think he lost in the first round of the playoffs, though. That's why, or was it the second round or something like that. That's why it wasn't as impressive because he didn't finish undefeated. Two? He says two. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, let's get back to it. I'm getting old, Jimmy. I've had a kid. My memory's bad now. You know that. Cardinals 5-8. He's definitely picked up his game these last couple weeks. While I'll say the Redskins have looked down offensively and defensively. He got blown out by E-Fly a couple weeks ago. He only got hurt by one. He does have Scary Terry X Factor now, and I want to say that Najee Harris just got his Superstar Dev or Star Dev, one of the two, something like that. I know he got a boost. This is one of the sleeper good games here. Despite the Cardinals' record, he's a very good user. Um, I think the football team is a better defensive team slightly and a little less turnover prone. Although I think all the momentum is with the Cardinals, I'll take the Redskins to win this, the football team to win this game at home.
Yeah, I mean, I know I really need the Cardinals to win this game for my playoff hopes to stay alive. And I know football team barely beat Herc, which is like just a nail biter for me. That hurt me, but I think Cardinals has been. I mean, it's weird. He like loses to Panthers, but then he blows Seahawks out. So I don't really know what to say, but I think I'm gonna have. I have to go with Cardinals winning.
That's what you want to happen. I definitely feel you there. Next, we move on to Jimmy's game, the Saints at the Packers. Packers going to win about 60 here. No, but the Saints are 12-1. Packers 8-5. Dean has looked extremely good offensively. He's running a 63 overall quarterback. Um, Actually, I think he said that Matthew Stafford is gonna. I know he said he was gonna start Stafford in the playoffs. I can't remember if he said he was gonna start Stafford for this game because it mattered or not. I think he's gonna start McCaffrey. He's playing extremely well with a shitty quarterback. His receiving core is ridiculous, as well as his defensive backs are insane. He's got a bunch of really tall, really good man coverage defensive backs. I think that's going to cause problems for Jimmy. The issue for Dean is going to be that he's also struggled on the defensive side of the ball. Um, I think the way to beat Dean is to stretch the ball downfield and not do short intermediate passing game, which is what I think Jimmy tends to lean to more to anybody other than Michael Thomas, obviously. I think if the Saints run the ball here and if he gets Alvin Kamara going, he's going to win this game. But just because I think Dean's offense is rolling and he'll make adjustments on defense, I'm going to take the Packers to win this game at home. Um, Very close. I'm gonna say 3 points, maybe at the gun even. What about you, Gavin?
I mean, despite Saints' record, he's kind of played in a lot of close games this year, and it's kind of been like shaky. And I know Dean's been. I don't think Dean's lost a game in a while, so I think he's actually going to blow Saints out by at least 21.
Wow, 21. That is just disrespectful there. I've never seen. Well, I don't want to say never, but because I can't remember. My memory shit tonight. But Jimmy does not let people blow him out. Um, So I think that if the game even started to head that direction, that he would make adjustments. Dean has not played particularly well on defense, so I can't see him. And Jimmy's a very good defensive user, as we said, one of the best in the league. This game is kind of a double-edged sword in swords. Um, Definitely looking forward to watching it when it comes. But I think it'll be an extremely close game. I think if it's low scoring, the Saints win. If it's high scoring, the Packers win. That's the best way to put it. Next, we have the Raiders at 7-6 playing the 9-4 Titans. um, Titans have looked extremely good over the last couple of weeks. They forced me last week. He beat me after a really good day by Henry and adjusted well in the second half. He outscored me 31-3, so he's playing very well. Raiders were like 7-3 a couple weeks ago, and I don't know what the fuck has happened to him, but he is fallen off the wagon because he lost by like 45 the past 2 weeks. Last week is particularly embarrassing. He lost to a whole bunch of backups playing for the Chargers. Um, I expect Twan to blow him out here. He's going to stop Henry Ruggs. He just does a really good job at limiting speedy receivers. So I'll take the Titans big in this game. What about you, Gavin?
Yeah, if I can beat the Raiders by a lot, pretty much anybody can. So I think Twan's going to crush him.
Um, Next, we have the Colts at the Broncos. Uh, as the final one. Colts 3-10 on the year. Broncos 7-6. Denver's been frustrated with their quarterback play. So I know he's looking to get it back rolling in the right direction. If there's ever a game to do it, it's here against the Colts. Colts really struggle to stop the passing game, which is going to be interesting because Denver loves to run the ball with Puka, but they also like to throw to him. So expect a big day from Puka Williams here. Maybe he'll get Jerry Jeudy involved as well. I expect the Broncos to win this game big. He's just a better offensive and defensive user. All right, Gavin, last pick. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I know Puka Williams. I had to face him. He's the best running back I've faced in this whole league, so I think he's going to be a big problem for the Colts.
All right, that's gonna do it for that. I do want to look at this playoff race here. Now that we're just close enough that it matters, I'll look at the playoff picture first. Everyone can look at it. Um, if the started currently, it would be the Bengals versus the Dolphins, Jags, Titans, Bills, Ravens. Then you get Packers and Saints again, Redskins and a Washington football team, and the Giants, and then the Falcons and Seahawks also a rematch. So let's go look at the actual race. We'll talk about some teams that are in the hunt as well. Have a chance to make the playoffs, so on and so forth. On the AFC side, Chargers hold the one seed at 13 and 0. They have the tiebreaker because they've played more division games so far over the Dolphins. I'm not sure what the tiebreaker is going to be. I have to go look if they both finish 16 and 0 because obviously both have the same division record. So it's going to come down to probably something else, strength of schedule or something. Second is the Dolphins at 13 and 0. Third is the Titans at 9, the tiebreaker of the Jaguars, who were 9 and 4 before the week started. Fourth is the Ravens, currently at 8 and 5. Wildcard teams go as follows: the Bills hold the first wildcard spot at 9 and 4. The second wildcard spot goes to the Jaguars, who were 9 and 4 in advance, like I said. And the last wildcard spot goes to the Bengals, as they have the tiebreaker over the Broncos and the Raiders at 7 and 6. Broncos and Raiders both still in the playoff hunt. 7 and 6 tied with the Bengals. Gonna need him to lose some games, and they're gonna need to keep winning. So I think that Denver's got a really good shot here. Um, it's gonna start with Quick needing to lose to Chap. Will be his first. His first. My cat just sunk its fucking claws into my leg. Oh my god. All right. Um, Next is the NFC. Bears and Saints each 12 and 1. Saints have played less division game. I mean less conference games than the Bears have. That's why the Bears hold the 1 seed. Saints are 2. 3 seed currently. The Giants tied at 9 and 4 with the football team, but they beat them. So the Giants are the 3 seed, and the 4th seed is the Seahawks at 7 and 6. Wild cards are as follows: the Falcons have already clinched the playoff spot at 10 and 3. Second is the Redskins at 9 and 4, and lastly is the Packers at 8 and 5. Only one team still in the playoff hunt over here on the NFC side. That is your 49ers at 6 and 7. If they won 2 games in a row now, looking really good. Been playing better over the last couple weeks. You're 5 and 3 at home, while you're 1 and 4 on the road. So you tend to definitely be a better home user. It looks like. Um, you're gonna need either the Seahawks or the Redskins to start, losing games left and right if you're gonna make it. I think that's gonna be your only shot. Cowboys, Cardinals, Rams, and Vikings all eliminated this past week with losses. So tough break for them. Alright, that's going to do it for the predictions video. Everybody, thanks for people who joined in to watch. I'm going to get back in a rhythm and doing these and be a lot smoother over the next couple weeks and things like that. Gavin, appreciate you doing the video as well. Everybody have a good night, and make sure you play and stream the games they're supposed to be streaming.